What's going on, guys? My name is Nadim, and today we're going to be checking out every single Luffy that dropped in One Piece Bounty Rush since its release. Now, we have the 2-star Luffy, 30 million Berry Luffy, Alabasta Luffy, Timeskip Luffy, Stampede Luffy, Gear 4 Luffy, Nightmare Luffy, Marineford Luffy with Ace, Snakeman Luffy, Luffy Taro, and Dressrosa Luffy with Law. We'll take a look at all of their gameplays, show you guys their normals, their skills, their dodges, and talk about their history in One Piece Bounty Rush. This was inspired by, I think, some Bleach Bear Souls YouTubers. I think it was Spiteful Hopes and someone else. I'll leave their videos in the description. They did it for Ichigo, so I thought this was a cool idea, and I'll do it. And if you guys like it, definitely let me know, and I might do it for maybe some characters like Law and Zoro that have many units in the game and stuff like that. So yeah, first of all, we have the 2-star Luffy. Now, this guy, of course, the game came out with 4 stars, right? So 2 stars and 3 stars were not very good. Some of them, of course, were, but for the most part, they weren't. Now, this guy was one of the ones that weren't good. However, people that were a bit higher level in the game and had a better knowledge and better understanding of it, they definitely used him because of the missions that gave more shards. So you could 5-star and then 6-star him very easy, and that would give you more percentage in your support, which is exactly what you want, right? Alongside 2-star Zoro and 2-star Usopp. Now, Usopp was very dominant for a long time because of his capturing trait, and he was such a good runner. But this guy wasn't an amazing attacker, but he was still there for support, so some people have some history with him. All right, next we have 30 million Berry Luffy. Now, this guy, even though he's a 4-star and he's a Luffy, he wasn't used. And that was because there was another red attacker at the time, which was Mihawk. And another thing was at some point they started giving out one free Mihawk or one free NL or one free Croc. So people that started a bit later, even then they had Mihawk, not this guy. And so he was rarer, but Mihawk was also better. So that's something. And the first banner in the game didn't actually feature him. It featured Crocodile and NL. So he was never featured in any banner besides a ticket that I did summon on. It's my first ticket scout. It was a $50 ticket, guys. I spent $50 for a chance to get him or Smoker. And they were both pretty bad. But I thought it was a guaranteed 4-star, and I thought it was worth it. Maybe it wasn't $50, maybe it was 25. I'm not sure, but yeah, that was a big waste of money for sure. So I know that now. But yeah, anyways, that's that for 30 million Berry Luffy. Next we have Alabasta Luffy, again the third Luffy in the game, and he was still pretty bad. And the reason why wasn't because inherently he was bad, but because back then diamonds were scarce, right? And we had a free 4-star red Shanks. So many people would just skip him because they had their Shanks at 5-star. And eventually we knew we'd get our Shanks to 6-star. So there was no real reason to summon for him, especially because back then step-ups did not have steps. It was just a regular character on a regular banner with lower rates than Bouncy Fest. And so he came out with Vivi as well, who was a pretty bad unit. So the banner as a whole was bad. And guess what? Right before that, there was a Bounty Festival Whitebeard, who was broken. So everyone that had diamonds wasted it on that banner and not him. So all in all, a pretty bad unit. Unfortunately, that was just not that great and not worth summoning for. But he was not the worst thing ever. Finally, we get into a strong Luffy. Now, this guy was meta-defying. He was so strong. His normals were faster than people running away. His skills had invincibility with a lot of damage. His other one was a one-shot. He was so good. Alongside Sky Zoro, they were the meta for so long. And any good character that came out afterwards was good, but not as good as Timeskip Luffy. Now, he did have some counters and some pair-up matches. You know, if you wanted all blue, you'd use Crocodile with him. If you wanted to use a red, you'd use Sky Zoro. If you wanted to have a green to counter the other Timeskip Luffys, you would bring Timeskip Sanji. So for a while, you know, that was the meta. And he was really strong. Really fucking strong. He was as dominant as Blackbeard and Shanks were. Of course, not as annoying and not as damaging to the game, but definitely very dominant for sure. All right, next we have Stampede Luffy. Now, Stampede Luffy was paired up alongside the first boss battle ever, boss battle Bullet, and people had him at level 100. And at level 100, you want to always try out those units. And at level 100, I'd say it was better than Timeskip Luffy because, you know, you get so much extra stats, you get the 3 medals, so you could do a lot of cool things. He had decent skills, he had decent normals, he had a good dodge. Things about him were just good, and so people decided to use him, and he was good. He was good. You know, of course, a level 85 or above Timeskip Luffy was way better, but people had him, and for a month or two, you'd see him running around, and he was a good unit all in all. So yeah, that's that for Stampede Luffy. Nothing much to say about him. Just he had his small time in the sunlight or limelight or whatever. English is on point today. Next thing we have Gear 4 Luffy. Now this guy was so strong. His third hit looked like a dodge, so you weren't sure if he's doing 1-2 dodge or 1-2 attack. He had the tremor. He had a knockback. His damage was incredible. He had the resist stagger thing. Oh my god, he was so good. The thing is, however, he came out alongside Dofi, and most people were interested in Dofi, right? Because the meta swapped from Timeskip Luffy and Sky Zoro to Wano Zoro and Dofi. So he was not the best unit in his banner, even though he's incredible. But more importantly, as a green, we just got Stampede Sabo, which in my opinion was as good. And more importantly, most people, even if they didn't have Stampede Sabo, they had invested so much into Timeskip Sanji. And so Timeskip Sanji was not as good, but at level 100, he was probably better than a level 80 of this guy. Maybe not, but it was not worth spending all your resources to level 80 this guy when you had the level 100 Timeskip Sanji, which a lot of people did. So, all in all, he was a great unit, but he came out, in my opinion, at maybe not the best time for himself. Next, we have Nightmare Luffy. Now, Nightmare Luffy, he came out, and most people, I think, didn't think too much of him, right? We thought he was a good character. But as time, went on, people started maxing him, and people started realizing how good he actually is. And I recently showcased him on the channel, and he is pretty good, right? At level 100, you'll see a lot of success even today. He's a very offensive defender. He has a one-shotting skill. He has a knockback skill that has a lot of a very short cooldown with not a lot of damage, but good damage. And his normals are not the best, and his dodge is okay. But he's still very nice in today's meta, especially against shock characters and trans characters like Boa, Big Mom, Law, and so many more NLs. So he's not bad even today. If you have him at level 100, definitely give him a try. He's pretty nice. All right. Next, we have the Marineford Ace. Marineford Luffy with Ace. The first dual unit in the game, and he was free to play, so that was really cool. Now, if you guys do the new rookie missions, you get an extra copy. If you're max, you actually get 50 cola, so that's pretty cool. I got 50 cola, and if you didn't have him max, well, if you got him to level 80, 85, 90, that's pretty cool. And all in all, he was not the worst unit. I think when he first came out, I think he was pretty good for the time. Now he's not that good, but for that time, he was pretty good. Of course, outshined by the regular step up green Ace, but he was a very good free-to-play unit. And his damage, is not to be underestimated. He has a very nice long-range teleporting attack. Not teleporting, I don't know what you call it, like a lunging attack. The one that I'm gonna use right now on the screen. And I think he was a very good unit, very fun for a free-to-play unit for sure. And all in all, if you have him at level 100, give him a shot today. You might like him. Next, we have Snakeman Luffy. Now, Snakeman Luffy was one of those units that people were actually disappointed with at launch. And the reason why was because people expected him to be the green EX. And turns out he was step up. So people thought he would be pretty shit. Now, people that tested him did not like his movement. I personally loved it. Jason called it dancing man. And I loved that. I laughed at that. It was very funny. And I loved his movement, right? I thought it gave him more personality than just basic running. And I thought he was good, right? But a lot of good players said he wasn't good. So I was telling people, listen, people are saying he's not great. I personally like him, but people are saying he's not great. I showcased him at level 60 on my channel, SS or S plus, and he was so good. So I was like, dude, I think he's gonna be pretty nice. Unfortunately, at the time, maybe a day or two later, people started realizing how good his traits and skills were. His normals, his first hit looks like his skill. His skill has so much range and it's so wide for some reason. And it's easy to bait dodges because his first hit and his skill looks the same. And all in all, he's very dominant since he came out like a week or two later until today. Very great unit, in my opinion. And yeah. Speaking about personality, you have Luffy Taro. Now, Luffy Taro oozes with personality because of the way he normal attacks. It's Luffy with a sword, and he's not good with the sword. So his normals reflect that. Look at that. It's just very funny. But he's a very good unit. Even though he's a comedic unit with a lot of personality, he's still very, very good. Against defenders, he's amazing. People at first thought he would be the Blackbeard counter. Personally, I never thought that because, of course, he's a Devil Fruit user and Blackbeard just will do good against him. Even though he does well against Blackbeard, it's a 50-50. It's a skill matchup at that point. But he's definitely not the counter to Blackbeard. He's a very good counter to a lot of defenders. And if you're a defender, man, you should thank God that this guy did not become the most dominant unit. Because even though he's really good, somehow he did not become the most dominant unit. Now, I'm sure, people are starting to get him to level 100 if you've invested in him. And if you do have him, try it. I think you'll have a good amount of enjoyment out of him, and he's very strong as well. So definitely give him a shot. Fantastic unit overall. And yeah, next we have the new unit that just dropped. I just did a summoning video and I just did a showcase on him yesterday or 2 days ago. Man, he's so good. Now, I did not give him justice in the gameplay that I showcased because the internet was bad, so I did not have the best games. But more importantly, I did not know this skill I'm using right now, the skill 2, had that much range. It has actually very good range. I thought it was a medium range skill, but it's a very, very long range skill. So make sure to look out for me. I'm definitely going to make another showcase on him soon because he's so, so, so good. Um, Luckily, this Bounty Fest is a skip for most people because anniversary is approaching and Kinemon is not apparently, something people like. At first, I didn't think this guy was too impressive, but the more I look into him, the more I like his normals, the more I like his skills, and the more I think he would be super, super strong. His normals at first I thought looked very basic, but looking at them now, the haki coming out, the knockback, the way it looks is pretty cool. The lost skill is actually very nice. Blocking healing is insanely broken because today's meta is wholly defined or wholly based on healing. Pretty much every good character has healing, and so being able to block that is really, really good. Of course, that means you need to know when to use which skill in which order, but yeah, he's very, very good. And I never personally got this, but apparently, if you kill someone that nullified their healing, like Blackbeard or Ivankov, they actually won't revive. So if Kaido, for example, doesn't even have his buff and you kill him, he actually gets one shot, which is incredible to remove a whole revive. But in a smaller scale, just Mihawk, Urouge, Lucci, all of those characters. What's his name? Shanks. So many good characters have healing. Big Mom, he's so good against Big Mom. This guy, because of course you can't get shocked and stuff. He's incredible. He's beautiful. Of course, being a Luffy has so many advantages, but oh my god, is he great, man. I can't wait to see what top players will do with him. It's definitely going to be fantastic. Kinemon also looks to be interesting, but I definitely think this guy's going to be the better out of the two. And yeah, again, if you guys want to check out my showcase of him, it's in the channel summons as well. If you guys want to wait, I will be doing another gameplay within the next few days because I just love using him. Even though at level 80, at level 100, I can't imagine how good he will be. So yeah. With that being said, guys, let me know if you enjoyed this. Again, I might do it for Law and Zoro if we get one more of those. If you do enjoy it, let me know who you want. Of course, it has to be a character with many, many variants. And as a new one comes out, I might do this for many, many characters because I think it's cool. Looking back at the old days, looking at who was meta defying and things like that. I've been playing the game since launch, so I know these things. Even though I wasn't always the best player, I was in the community and talking to a lot of the best players. So yeah, that being said, guys, hope you enjoyed and peace.